We're looking at a 19th century scrapbook. It's actually produced around 1881. There's a March of 81 design. In the center of the board here is embossed, and here we have it in blind, so to speak. Nice decorative Victorian ornaments. And what's interesting is that this is what's known as the Mark Twain scrapbook. These were widely sold in the United States. He licensed his name for them. He was involved in publishing ventures of various types, etc. It's a travel log of sort of financial documents and mementos of this Ralph Emerson. It starts with a letter of credit from the First National Bank of Chicago in 1883, 500 pounds, which is quite a bit of money at that time. And so here are places where it's all drawn on. And here are the towns where you could draw upon it. Looks like someone has repurposed this album, or perhaps maybe removed things at some point. I'm not sure, but this is how we acquired it. They sailed over on the ship of the Gallia in 1884 here, and this is a handbill from that ship, and here is the journal, 1884, like so. And then we see this little dog handbill, which is actually a list of the passengers, and in fact, Mr. and Mrs. Ralph Emerson are listed right here. They have a cabin, so they're not in steerage, they have a cabin. Here is another one of the little daily sort of journal papers from the ship. And here is a menu. Here is the plan. It says our room was number 130, so they were right here on the main deck, which is kind of probably nice. Here's another menu right here. That was for breakfast, January 12th. Track of a storm, 18th of January. Looks like they were involved in some kind of a storm. And here is this interesting railway brochure, or handbill, so to speak. Mr. Ralph Emerson, the steamer Adriatic. And this is a telegram envelope. And here is a printed card. Here's a printed card for trunks, bags. And here they went to the theater, right here. Handbill for the theater. Here is from a hotel in Paris, an actual telegram. Look at that, pasted right on there. Here is a little, probably very rare, city plan, pocket-sized, and on cardstock of Strasbourg, in France. And they checked off even some of the places they visited. And here is a nice, beautifully printed card for Strasbourg merchant. And here we have, look at that. That's a scarce little city plan right there of Amiens, France. And here's a hotel little handbill, like so. A receipt. And then we get here. This is obviously St. Mark's Square in Venice. Wow. Yeah. Testolini, Venice Place, or St. Mark's Square, right? Look at that. And here, look at this. This is very interesting too. Very nice. This little city plan here. And see what we've got. Here's another one. Innsbruck and Umgebung in the environs. And look at this. Here's one of Turin, Italy. Very interesting, yes. And here's a menu, and here's a beautifully printed business card for a hotel in Florence. And here's another one in Naples. Look, you can see Mount Vesuvius right there. Oh, look, drawn sketches of, appears to be Mount Vesuvius. It's great. And here is a hotel that I recommend on the Grand Canal in Venice. Look at this, and here is a Grand Hotel Milan, 1884. Well, they weren't skimping, they went in style. And here's another deck plans cross-section, so to speak, of steamships. Here's a Rome program, Piazza Navona. Ha, that's great. Look at that. English-American bookseller, 10,000 volumes you can borrow. Circulating library. Look at this nice little cardstock. This appears to be, is this like Switzerland? And here, look at this is look at this. Here it is, the Adriatic, the Royal Mail steamship. Look at this, beautifully printed. Yeah, and there we are. There's the passengers, Mr. Ralph Emerson and Mrs. Ralph Emerson, right there. They obviously met some people. Breakfast bill. Notice to cabin passengers. Look at this, Vesuvius restaurant station at the train station. £6. Huh. Here's what's left of some kind of I would say that's Milan, that's the cathedral. Now this gets very interesting. What we have here, these are very interesting. These are like financial documents, checks, money orders, so to speak, and they're beautifully printed. And here's his signature, Ralph Emerson, the First National Bank of Chicago. And it's got this little stamp on it. This one has an embossed little seal, and these are held in here by pins. And this is another sort of check. And here we are. And oh, look, Ralph Emerson, Rockford, Illinois. And here's the Citibank of London. And this is interesting here because on the back, this is from London, we see these two French like revenue stamps. And here's another one, and another one. These are all the financial documents. This is how money would have been, £30, dispersed on the trip as he moved around each place. He's drawing on his letter of credit. And here is in Turin with a little stamp. Here's another one for Venice. Here's one, Credit Lyonnais, and it's Emerson. And this one, yeah, Florence, Italy in March. He was in Europe for quite some time, a couple months it looks like. Here's one for May. And here's one with stamp on it. Hold it like so. Hold it like so. Okay. And here we have another Florence. Look at this telegraph. Improving burlesque afloat. Anagram. Ha ha ha. We are all well. These are the code words because you paid by the word. So each word you agree with somebody meant something, so you could just send them 4 words and say a lot more than have. It's remarkable to think that communication at this time was based upon how many words you were sending to someone. And here's another cable. This is interesting. Via direct cable, I think this is maybe even aboard a ship. And then we have this White Star Line track chart of the steamship Adriatic. We saw a picture of it earlier. Ismay Imre Company, they were chart publishers actually. This was printed in Liverpool. And that is the end of the contents of this album. There's just a few pages that are still stuck together but blank. And this is how it survives. This is how it's offered. And it is available now online from me, Brian DiMambro.